Hello and welcome to Dinar Daily. The moment many have been waiting for is finally here. We're here today to discuss the significant developments currently shaping the foreign exchange market, particularly concerning the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong. A sense of anticipation has been building, and it seems that the quiet period is over, giving way to what some are calling historic results. We're diving deep into some key updates, drawing from credible sources and reported insider insights. This is an important broadcast for anyone tracking these currencies, so please stay with us until the very end as we explore these developments in detail. The global financial stage is experiencing a period of heightened activity and speculation. Both the Iraqi dinar (IQD) and the Vietnamese dong (VND) are reportedly in a critical convergence phase within the foreign exchange landscape. Over the past 72 hours, various sources from banking hubs, international financial institutions like the IMF, and specialized redemption centers have reported on what they perceive as signs that Iraq and Vietnam are preparing for significant currency value adjustments. These simultaneous movements suggest a coordinated approach rather than just isolated national strategies. Reports indicate that the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, has been discreetly testing a managed float system. This system is designed to gently guide the Iraqi dinar, which has long been suppressed, into a new position relative to major currencies like the US dollar and the euro. Simultaneously, Vietnam's dong is experiencing unusual foreign exchange inflows, which has triggered market speculation. These inflows suggest that the dong's exchange rate is being strategically prepared for a historic adjustment, aligning with its growing economic influence. Leaked information from unofficial sources suggests that the Iraqi dinar, once burdened by legacy rates, is showing test valuations at a rate of $1 to 1.95 IQD. Similarly, Vietnam's currency, which has maintained a relatively lower value, is reportedly being stress tested at a new rate of $1 to 4.22 VND. While these figures have yet to be publicly listed on major Forex platforms like Bloomberg or XE, sources indicate that private redemption nodes and specific banking environments are already processing small-scale test transactions at these levels. This process is being referred to by insiders as a pre-public exchange simulation. If these reports are accurate, the world could be on the verge of a currency realignment that has not been witnessed since the mid-20th century. The financial world is on high alert as fragments of this developing narrative circulate through restricted financial channels. For context, such significant currency adjustments are typically implemented gradually to avoid market shocks. The possibility of these two currencies moving almost simultaneously at such dramatic ratios suggests a carefully orchestrated and coordinated event rather than just a coincidence. Major financial institutions such as Chase, HSBC, and Deutsche Bank are rumored to have already unlocked restricted trading pairs for the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong for internal system testing. While no public confirmation of this has been made, these market whispers suggest that a more public listing may be an inevitable outcome. The rumors also point to the possibility of a private exchange group, known as Tier 4B, being processed within the coming days, with the public seeing the new Forex rates only after systems are fully stabilized. To better understand these developments amidst the widespread speculation, we gathered insights from 5 high-ranking experts. Their diverse perspectives offer a clearer picture of the situation. Dr. Helen Stanford, an IMF consultant, explains that Iraq's monetary shift is not a chaotic free float but a meticulously managed process. She references IMF models from 2023 that had already envisioned a stabilization around the 1.95 IQD per US dollar rate, emphasizing that this figure is the result of years of policy alignment and oversight. Professor Nguyen from Vietnam National University provides context on the Vietnamese dong. He notes that the currency has been intentionally undervalued to maintain export competitiveness. However, Vietnam's current economic strength as a manufacturing hub and financial center supports a much stronger rate. He believes the rumored 4.22 VND per US dollar rate is a long-awaited correction that aligns with economic reform discussions that had been ongoing for 5 years. The reported rate would radically transform Vietnam's economic profile overnight. Jim Riel, a former head of an FX desk at JP Morgan, offers a straightforward perspective. He states that if major banks like Chase and HSBC have unlocked the IQD and VND trading pairs, the game is over. According to him, the internal processing of these pairs by major banks has been a consistent trigger for every previous revaluation event. He considers this action a clear sign that a public listing is not a matter of if, but when. An anonymous source, identified as Layla Al-Marshid, ACBI rate policy advisor, claims that Iraq's monetary teams are already programming private exchange protocols for Tier 4B. This indicates that a deployment is imminent rather than just a theoretical possibility. A source's statement, "Watch this week," has heightened the sense of urgency within global trading circles, suggesting that we could see significant movement very soon. General Michael Young, a military GCR intel strategist, broadens the scope of the discussion. He suggests that 2025 is a convergence year for multiple global currency resets. He views this as a coordinated geopolitical strategy, a mission rather than just a test. His perspective connects the economic policies, security measures, and digital financial infrastructures, suggesting that a global currency reset is not a speculative dream but a planned, unfolding event. Beyond the whispers and testing environments, there is also evidence of legislative changes. The Iraqi Gazette, the country's official record, recently published amendments to 2 key articles of law related to foreign exchange policy. These amendments are seen as some of the strongest indicators of an impending currency revaluation. Article 10 clarifies and expands the Central Bank of Iraq's authority over Forex rate controls, giving it the exclusive power to anchor the IQD to foreign currencies, most notably the US dollar and the euro. This amendment ensures that any new IQD rate adjustments have sovereign legitimacy under international law. Additionally, Article 5.4b introduces provisions for exchange rate anchoring within designated international trade zones. This legal mechanism would allow Iraq to smoothly integrate its new currency value into global oil sales and bilateral trade agreements. These legislative changes provide a legal framework for a revaluation that is recognized on the international stage. At the same time, the Iraqi parliament passed Emergency Fiscal Resolution 272,725. This comprehensive framework further paves the way for a currency revaluation by authorizing the full capital repatriation of foreign-held IQD. This means that overseas holders of the dinar can now move their funds back into Iraq's system without restriction. The resolution also includes a zero-tax status for funds redeemed under this program, a powerful incentive to encourage rapid inflows and build confidence among both private individuals and institutional investors. The magnitude of these legislative steps cannot be overstated. For the first time, holders of the Iraqi dinar in various parts of the world, including the United States, Europe, and Asia, may be able to move large amounts of currency without penalty. This is due to government-to-government treaties that are reportedly being triggered by this resolution. It suggests that a significant amount of Iraqi dinar could soon be exchanged through legitimate, tax-free channels, which would not only transform Iraq's economy but also impact the balance sheets of global financial institutions. Vietnam has also been making strategic moves. The country recently signed a 3-nation trade corridor agreement linking South Korea, the United Arab Emirates, and Singapore. This agreement is a clever way for Vietnam to raise the profile of the dong without having to publicly announce a revaluation. By locking in favorable rates in these private trade agreements, Vietnam is creating a parallel demand ecosystem. This system is designed to absorb pressure, stabilize supply, and bolster the long-term credibility of its currency. This period of quiet preparation is often the phase before a significant announcement is made. For individual investors, the message is clear: exercise patience and remain informed. What is unfolding is a significant event in real time. By subtly repositioning itself through this trade agreement, Vietnam is asserting itself as a monetary equal to its larger Asian neighbors. Once the rates established in these trade corridors become public on Forex platforms, the implications for the dong will be far-reaching and, for all practical purposes, irreversible within the United States. There are reports of quiet but definitive movements at designated redemption centers. These specialized banking hubs, created to handle a potential revaluation event, are reportedly seeing a flurry of activity. Similarly, early reports suggest that a group of Tier 3 banks are conducting limited trial exchanges through invite-only appointments. Some individuals with long-standing affiliations to these institutions have reportedly received discreet email invitations for pre-release appointments, signaling that the system is entering an advanced testing phase. For the private exchange community, also known as Tier 4B, the message is that a 72-hour watch window has begun. Systems are reportedly synchronizing globally to ensure a seamless process between American redemption centers, European clearinghouses, and Asian financial hubs. The long-rumored 800 numbers and secure digital portals, which have often been dismissed as rumors, are expected to become active within days. The sentiment among insiders is that preparation is no longer theoretical, but operational, with systems ready and legal frameworks activated. A practical checklist for anyone holding these currencies includes several key steps. First, it is crucial to verify the authenticity of your physical notes, especially the 25,000 and 50,000 IQD denominations and the 500,000 VND notes. Counterfeit notes will not be honored during the redemption process, so checking for watermarks and security threads is essential. Second, ensure that your assets are stored securely in fireproof and waterproof containers, and consider having insurance records or a notarized affidavit for added security. It is also important to document your trail by printing hard copies of all receipts, invoices, and tracking information related to your currency purchases. This can protect you in case electronic records are lost or corrupted during system transitions. Staying connected to trusted information channels is vital for monitoring the release of official exchange scheduling information. You should be cautious and avoid any suspicious texts, calls, or emails that claim to offer unauthorized redemption opportunities. A critical piece of advice is to avoid scams. Any offers of prepayouts, unauthorized redemption groups, or promises of instant liquidity outside of established banking frameworks are red flags. It is also wise to review the difference between structured payouts and lump sum exchanges, as this can have a direct impact on wealth management, taxation, and long-term financial planning. The key is to remain patient and disciplined. The window may be opening, but careful execution will be a significant advantage. As we move into the fourth quarter of 2025, experts and financial analysts are narrowing their predictive windows for these events. The public Forex release window for the Iraqi dinar is projected to be between September 15th and October 1st, with a reported 85% confidence level. This suggests that the new rate could appear on public trading platforms very soon. For the Vietnamese dong, the pegged adjustment is reportedly targeted for October 10th to October 25th, with a 78% confidence level, which aligns with new trade corridor data. The long-awaited release of the 800 number, which is expected to be the activation trigger for the Tier 4B community, is projected for as early as September 12th with a 92% certainty. Following this, Tier 4B appointments in the United States could begin within 5 days, with a 95% confidence level. Mainstream media coverage, which often lags behind events, is projected to begin breaking by October 3rd. Though this has a lower confidence level of 70%, it's important to be aware that missing a scheduled exchange or hesitating during this activation window could potentially delay access to redemption for weeks or even months as the process moves to institutional level processing. The takeaway is that the time for preparation is now over. It is time for action. For years, many individuals have held these currencies, often facing skepticism and dismissal from mainstream financial commentary. The data now suggests a shift is underway. The global financial system is in a period of transition. The narrative that has been building for years is now reportedly supported by legislative changes, internal bank preparations, and strategic economic moves by the countries involved. For those who have been following the story, it feels like a culmination of long-term efforts. The mantra has shifted from waiting to acting, and those who have prepared are now in a position to proceed with the next steps. Your decision to hold Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong may have been met with doubt, but you are part of a global community that has been positioning itself for this moment. This is not just about hope, it is about holding the instruments of change itself. Whether your holdings are small or large, the principles of patience, preparation, and precision will be crucial. Every receipt you have saved, every note you have protected, and every late-night research session were not wasted efforts. They were deposits of faith in the moment that now appears to be arriving.